Hey there, hope you're doing well. Today we are going to be talking about gardening and money. And no, this isn't a conversation about money growing on trees. When I have a new client that I'm working with, I've talked before about how I become kind of a nosy person in the first meeting. And it's not just being nosy for nosy's sake. The goal is really to find out two things. The first is compartmentalization. If you're unfamiliar with that term, I've made a video about it, and I will put a link in the description below. The other is, what do they want to do with their money? What is driving that person? Why are they saving? What I found in this conversation is that though it looks different for every person, there is this innate desire within each of us to leave an impression. It's not just an impression like, I am trying to impress you with how great I am and how much success I've had. Impressions that people want to leave can also just be called a legacy. We have a legacy that we want to leave. Legacies look different for everyone. For one person, it might be your traditional, I want to leave a large bequest to my alma mater. But it doesn't always have to be leaving money for someone. It could be someone who simply just wants to be able to take care of themselves independently without having to rely on their children for care. In thinking about that innate desire within each of us, even though it shows itself differently, I was reminded of a book that I read. Okay, I didn't really read the book. I listened to the audiobook. I'm a working mom. What can you expect? The book is called Farenheight 451. It's a classic, and it's written by Ray Bradbury. In it, the main character, Guy Montag, is trying to navigate a new society where the people who have come into power are, amongst some other things, they're burning books. Guy Montag is trying to escape, and he runs into a group of people who are also escaping. These people are considered keepers of the scripts. Being a keeper of the script means that you're memorizing books and history so that you can relay that on to the next generation who will not have access to these items because the government has been burning them. Guy Montag is having a conversation with one of the keepers of the scripts, and in it he's asking, essentially, why are you doing what you're doing? The response I thought was applicable to our financial lives. So I'm just going to read the quote to you. It doesn't matter what you do, he said, so long as you change something from the way it was before you touched it into something that is like you after your hands are away. The difference between a man who just cuts the lawn and a real gardener is in the touching. The lawn cutter might just as well have never have been there at all. The gardener will be there a lifetime. I like that quote in the context of our financial lives because if we're not careful, because time passes us by so quickly, we can end up being just like this lawn cutter. We make as much money as we can and we spend as much money as we can. And there's not much thought put into it. But we have this opportunity to take that money that we're earning and make a lasting impression, to garden in this world. We're able to impact the lives of our family and our employees and our community. So for you today, as you walk outside and see the grass growing and think about the beauty of a garden, how are you gardening in your finances? How are you making that lasting impression? And it's not always a conversation of just saving as much as we can. That might not make a lasting impression either. But really having some intentionality and cultivating what it is that we want to do with our money is crucial to having a solid financial plan and a full and rich life. Happy gardening to you, and take care.